putrefy, rot, spoil, and fester.
Exile, do something!
Gaze into the abyss. Gaze into the abyss.
Can take a little bit. One of the icicles. Hey guys, Speedoz here, and today I bring you a new video about the quite strong Herald and Aura stacking as Guardian. You can also do this build as Silent, but I choose Guardian for the defensive layers. And in my opinion, if not the strongest, is one of the strongest build PoE has ever had. We've reached level 95 with it. For the bandits, we've killed all for the 2 extra passive points. And the Ascendancy, we get the Radiant Faith to get plenty of armor and energy shield. We also get the Unwavering Faith for the physical damage reduction and the life regen. Bastion of Hope gives us plenty of block chance. And the last one, Harmony of Purpose, to gain charges on hit. It's quite useful at bossing. Or you can get the Radiante Crusade, so you get 10% more damage when there is at least one nearby ally. Quite useful. It's really personal preference, so really up to you which one you're gonna choose, okay? The leveling of this build is quite easy. You can level with the one with nothing duel, which is the hollow palm technique. With the Astra Manis, you can level the tree of this build already during the leveling process. Get this dexterity and these dexterity nodes, quite useful. Also use a Chief Starman or 2 the Hoop of All Rings. And the Cyclone or the Smite attack skills. They are both quite useful. You can start leveling the Smite because you're gonna use the Smite for the build, or you can just go Cyclone and basically destroy the leveling process. It will be very easy and can carry you through all the leveling layouts. Okay. Apart from that, we get the every reduced mana reserved that we can. Here with the influence, reduce the mana reservation. This one is quite useful for the increased effect of the auras. Charisma. The jewels here, we get the unnatural instinct for plenty of mana, energy shield, and also charges when mapping. Very, very nice quality of life. And if you're playing EK like I am, you can get the Ring of Blades. Because this way the EK will fire the projectiles in a Nova, so quite useful For the jewels, we are using voices of 5 passives. You can also use the 7 passives if you want, or the 3 passives if you have more currency and want to min-max this. The voices passive number means that every voice that you upgrade, so from going to 7 to a 5 passive voices, means that you'll save an extra passive point on your tree. So if you have 3 voices of 7 passives and go to a build with 3 voices with 5 passives, this means that you saved 3 extra passive points for you. Okay? This is why they increase their value by so much every time they are upgraded. Okay? So this is the large clusters that we have. The medium cluster jewels are the heraldry with purposeful harbinger and endbringer. We're gonna use 9 of those jewels, okay? 9 jewels, medium clusters. Those 9 jewels, all of them have purposeful harbinger, which is the most broken node. 6 of them are gonna use purposeful harbinger, as you can see here. And 3 of them are gonna use endbringer as well, endbringer with purposeful harbinger. All of them has an extra jewel socket, so you can put jewels at the end, regular jewels, or small cluster jewels. What does this node do? Purposeful harbinger is the most broken one and is the node that is going to be fixed in the next league, because aura buffs from skills have 10% increased effect on us for each herald affecting us. This means that if we're able to stack 5 heralds, we will have 50% increased effect of the auras per purposeful harbinger that we have on the tree. Since we have 9 purposeful harbingers, 9 times 50% equals 450% increased effect. This means that, for example, if you have a hatred aura, a hatred aura gives us at level 92 how much? No, this is not haste. A hatred gives us 19% more cold damage. If we have 450%, this means 5.5 times 18%, 19%. This means 104.5% more cold damage. This is why it's so broken. It works for every aura on your build, and this is why it's so strong. Okay, so we stack 9 of purposeful harbingers, and we stack 6 of heraldries. Heraldry has increased effect of herald's buffs on us, and also 10% reduced mana reservation of herald skills. Since we have 6, we have 60% reduced mana reservation for the heralds, and this is why we are able to stack all the heralds: Herald of Thunder, Agony, Ash, Ice, and Purity. Okay. So the other and the Endbringer here, Endbringer gives us 25% increased damage for each herald affecting us. We have 5 heralds, 25 times 5 equals 125% increased damage on the tree, on us. And since we have 3 Endbringers, as you can see here, 125 times 3 equals 375% increased damage, which is a lot damage gain when you stack all those jewels. Alright, at the end, there are regular jewels, as you can see here. Apart from this, these are the small clusters that we're going to use, and each one of them has a reduced mana reservation for each purity. So this one here is a small cluster with Pure Might. Pure Might gives us 30% reduced mana reservation for Purity of Fire. Pure Gil gives us 30% reduced mana reservation for Purity of Fire. And this one gives mana reservation for the Purity of Lightning, Pure Aptitude. At the end, we're going to use regular jewels. You can see here, for example, all of them I got with increased maximum energy shield, and the rest is really up to you. We can get global physical damage, projectile damage, increased cast speed. You can see here that I also get projectile damage if we can. And this one here is a Watcher's Eye, which gives us permaphasing since we get phasing while affected by haste, and we are affected by haste all the time. As you can see here, my character always has phasing. And we also get the physical damage conversion to lightning damage while affected by wrath, which I'll explain in a bit why we get the Watcher's Eye with the damage conversion. The last one here is a jewel called Split Personality, quite useful, came out in 3.10 this league, and this means that we have 25% increased effect of those modifiers that it's been shown, which is 5%, 5 to strength and 5 to maximum energy shield. Quite useful if you don't have a headhunter or a belt with plenty of strength, so you can get the rest of the strength you need for the build, and also gives us some energy shield. This means that from the point that we are connecting the tree to the point to the start of our build, which is shown by this orange line, the amount of nodes, passive skills in this path is 33, and to sum up, this jewel at this position gives us 46 to strength and 46 to maximum energy shield. So it's a very nice jewel that you can have if you want. Okay, and also if you're not playing EK and you're playing Arc or any other spell, you don't need this jewel here. For the weapons and the equipments, we have the Nebulous. This is a synthesized weapon that drops from the Cortex with many implicit possibilities. Personally, I got the spell damage and the chance to freeze. The most expensive one is the Explode one, which at the moment is costing around 5 mirrors. It's really rare to get. But the nicest thing of this staff, of this scepter, is the increased elemental damage, cold damage, and lightning damage per one resist that is above 75%. With this build, you can easily get 90% of all rests. So 90 rests, 90 minus 75 equals 15. 15 times 20% increased cold damage gives us 300% increased cold damage, which is a very nice damage boost to the build. And also lightning damage, you can get the 20% on both lines if you can, but the most important one is the cold damage. In my opinion, with the cast speed, helps you a lot with the... Actually, both of the lines are important if you can get 20%, but I got 20% on one of them. Okay. So for the helmet, we get the Alpha's Hall, quite easy helm to get. For the enchantment, we get the Period of Ice mana reservation. You can also get any of the Period's mana reservation to help you have more mana and have more auras if you can. So Period of Ice, Period of Fire, and Period of Lightning works as well. It also gives us the property of cannot be frozen, reduced mana, which is all we need. And of course the level of socked aura gems. Quite nice helm for the build. You can also use a rare realm like a Hubris Circle with mana reduced reservation, 5% when you use an essence and craft something else. But I really recommend the Alpha's Hall because those stats are quite awesome for the build. Prismic Guardian gives us level aura gems, blood magic, and reduced mana reservation, which is all we need. If you have more currency and want to invest on the build, you can get a +2 or +4 Prismic Guardian with the corruption, which is quite nice as well. We have also the presence of Chayula, using the resistance catalyst to increase our Chaos Rest, makes the build more defensive when it comes to Chaos resistance. Or you can use a rare amulet with the reduced mana reservation, some energy shield, grants vitality skill, but you'll have to buy jewels with Chaos resistance if you want to have more Chaos rest. Okay. And also, presence of Chayula, you want to anoint the amulet with Champion of the Cause. Gives us the property of can't be stunned, so it's quite useful. This ring, this is why Call of the Brotherhood got its price in a very, very high price recently. Gives us plenty of lightning damage, some int, and obviously the conversion lightning damage to cold damage. You want to use the elemental catalyst to increase its quality to 20%. So the common roll that it is 40% goes up to 48%. When you use both rings, your conversion of lightning damage goes up to 96%. Sorry. So you have plenty of cold damage on the build, and you're gonna benefit from this conversion also because of the Watcher's Eye. Since we use the physical to lightning, with the Watcher's Eye, which can go up to 40%, mine is at the moment at 38%, we have at the max roll 90% of physical damage convert to lightning damage, and 96% of lightning damage convert to cold damage, and all those elemental damage is going to benefit from the Sirus province conversion, not conversion, but the elemental damage is extra chaos. So you will want to have as much conversion as possible on the build. For the gloves, you're going to be using the Maligaros because it gives us, no matter what, our critical multiplier will be 300%, which is not bad, and means that every geo that we have, we don't actually need the multiplier to spells, because even if you have, I don't know, 100% multiplier for spells on the geos, doesn't matter. We're gonna always have 300 multiplier with this Maligaros gloves. Okay, and this is why also the price got risen up through time, because it's been used on this build. The belt, I'm using the Headhunter. You can use this one or a Baited Breath or a Crystal Belt Crafted. It's really up to you. I'm using the Headhunter because I think it's more fun to play. And why not use a Headhunter if you're already spending hundreds of exalts on a build, right? So the boots, we can use also Dorian's Delusion. Gives us a skill from the boots, which gives us a free socket to socket in a portal. I socketed a portal because I think it's more comfortable to play, but you can also use a Righteous Fire, a Righteous Fire, or a Vitality skill, really up to you. Gives us movement speed, energy shield, damage to spells. The lightning version of these boots, it is better than the cold one, because if you just get a cold damage to spells, it means that it will not get converted, because we are converted lightning to cold. So if you get a lightning damage to spells, some of this damage will be converted to cold damage, and these elemental damages will benefit from the Sirus promise, and this is why the lightning version is better. For the flasks, we have the Sirus promise, obviously because of the physical damage, and the elemental damage is extra chaos damage, gives us plenty of damage. Diamond flask with immunity to curses, since we don't need to worry about the immunity to freeze because it's in the alpha hall. Bottle of Faith gives us plenty of crit chance and increased damage against the enemies on the consecrated ground. Cinder Swallow with crit chains, quite useful. You can also replace this with a Taste of Hate if you feel like you need. And also a Quicksilver for movementation with the Alchemist of Adrenaline, quite good. Okay, the gems, we have Blood Magic with Precision and Purity of Fire. Discipline, Vault Discipline, with Heart of Thunder, Smite, and Purity of Ice. Smite is very important to use it on the boss or on mapping, because it gives us a aura with plenty of added lightning damage, and this will be multiplied as well by the Purposeful Harbinger, so very, very important to use this one. Hatred, Haste, and Wrath. Flame Dash, Herald of Agony, Herald of Ice, and Herald of Ash. Clarity, Vault Clarity, Zealotry, Herald of Purity, and a Portal. For the EK, we link with Awaken Chain, which can also be Awaken Fork if you prefer. Awaken Fork will give you more projectiles, but Awaken Chain, in my opinion, feels smoother to map, so it's really up to you once again. For the bosses, you can replace this one with Spell Echo. Energy Leech support, which will make you very, very immortal almost. Arcane Surge, quite nice. As you can see here, our damage, our tooltip and the hideout is 6.6 million. As soon as we get the arcane surge buff, it goes up to 10.2 million, so quite nice. Physical to lightning and control destruction. Okay, something I'd like to point out is that when you go to the boss, you always want to press this might and pop up the Vol skills here. Vol haste will give you more increased attack speed. Vol clarity will give you your skills will cost no mana, and Vol impurity of ice means that nearby enemies resist will be ignored by the hits, which increases our damage by a lot. Something else, Vol impurity of ice here, as you can see, Vol impurity of fire, and obviously the other purity is on the boots. Okay. Overall speaking, I really like this build. I mean, it's really broken, but if you have the currency to spend, it's really worth a try. At the moment, at the moment that I'm gonna upload this video, you have another 2 months to play this build, so you really have the time, some of you, to get some currency and spend on this build. At the moment, this build is costing 320 exalts with the Headhunter. Without it, it's costing around 150 or 160. There are cheaper builds, cheaper versions of this build, but I don't think they are that strong, obviously. But maybe you could try and then progress and start buying all your items through the progress of your build. Okay, very fun to play, very good defensively speaking, as you can see here. It's really nice. Really easy and really strong, as you can see. Okay, so definitely worth the investment if you're gonna ask me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
What's this? A real challenge? You finally caught my attention.
What's this? A real challenge.
The others found strength in their projections. They became reliant on them. I am not so foolish. Warrant all this pain.
I am alive. I am alive, boys.